It's December 11th and I'm getting ready to show you the last part of the footage from my NaNoWrimo and everything I went through. And honestly, I didn't pick up my video and vlog the final week, but I did win. And I wanted to share with you a little bit how I've been feeling and what I've been processing over the past week since NaNoWrimo, but first let me show you the footage.
Hi, it is day 16 of NaNoWrimo, and I didn't record yesterday because I wasn't feeling it. I hadn't even planned on writing yesterday, but I decided to anyways. Kind of did on the down low. But it is Friday night. It is 6:24, even though it's dark outside. You can see how dark it is. It's really dark. I just made myself some coffee, decaf of course, and this is my Friday night. Let's see how many words I can get out. Let's go.
It's Monday afternoon, November the 19th, and I wanted to take a little bit of time and talk to you a little bit about where my head has been, how low I sank mentally when it came to my writing, because I have a feeling I am not alone in this. At some time or another, if you've written for any period of time, you have experienced this. And I don't know if it's talked a lot about in the community. Maybe it is. I do know that Kim Chance talked a little bit about it last week, and actually it was her video that picked me up for that. But I have to say probably where my issue was the fact that I work a full-time job and I love my job. It gives the flexibility to be able to be there for my kids, for their sports, to be there, you know, when I worked in retail and stuff like that, there was no time off and it wasn't flexible like that. So now I work a full-time job, 40 hours a week. Then on top of that, I am a mother of 2 growing kids. They are early teens and they do have sports. Actually, a couple years ago, we told them to narrow it down to 1 or 2 sports. They couldn't do every sport because it was just frazzling us. It's just too much between taking them to practice, taking them to their games, and it gets expensive too, honestly. So I have 2 growing kids in sports. I work a full-time job, plus, you know, cleaning and stuff, and the regular household duties, and then add to that writing. But this year, add to it the fact that I wanted to publish my book, and I wanted to publish it on my birthday since it was my debut book. I will do another series in either December or January. I haven't decided yet. I need to get it together, you know, after NaNoWrimo is finished, you know, decide how I want to do it. But I will talk a little bit about my self-publishing journey and the things I learned along the way. But one thing I will say is I most likely will never do another publishing around NaNoWrimo. And that being said, because I love NaNoWrimo, and the very fact that I feel that that was a major contributor to burnout, early burnout, when in years past I didn't have that. And I was able to finish NaNoWrimo by November 20th. I wrote 50,000 words in 20 days. I don't know how I did that, but that was 2 years ago. I was able to do that. And then last year I got it done quickly as well. And now we're on the 19th, and I only have 27 some thousand words. And I know that I'll finish on time, but the fact that I'm a little behind kind of worries me. It bothers me because I'm such a perfectionist. I think I spoke about this in another video. I'm such a perfectionist that I don't like to be behind. I don't like to do things wrong. I want everything to be done right the first time. But as a good writer friend told me, the only way you learn is to fail. And that's a hard pill for me to swallow. So last week, I was completely burnt out by Wednesday evening. I made the mistake of writing. I had planned not to write, but I had picked up overtime. And my husband was like, "Are you going to write?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." So I wrote, and my brain was mush, and I felt like every single word was like, it was a force to get out on the paper. And even though I knew the direction that my story was going, it felt like complete and utter trash. That by the time I was finished with my writing session, I was done. I had my meltdown on Instagram. I offloaded my social media apps from my iPhone. I shut off notifications. I basically shut out the world. And decided, I'm going to take a day. And at the end of this day, I will decide if NaNoWrimo is going to continue or not. And the truth of the matter is, if I had felt the same way 24 hours later, I probably would have shut down NaNoWrimo. But that's all I needed was to unplug for one day. And I realized that when I have a lot on my plate, it's okay not to write every single day, even if it is NaNoWrimo. Sure, they encourage you to write every day so that you're not writing 5, 6, 7,000 words in one day trying to play catch up. But I have written long enough that I'm able to do a little bit more than this 1,667 words. So I have to take that into consideration as well. But I'm a critique partner for someone whose book was coming out, and she saw my little post on Instagram, and she's like, "Listen, if you're burnt out, don't worry about it." I was like, "No, I committed to reading your stuff." And honestly, I realized that when I'm burnt, it's a vacation for my mind to be able to sit and read. So it was a vacation for me to read her work and to critique for her. And I'm learning so much about myself through this process. But I did take Saturday and Sunday off because Friday night my husband said, "You know what? I would love it if you didn't write all weekend." And at first I was like, huh? I had planned to write a lot on Saturday. I wanted to get so far ahead, but you know what? Family comes first, and there has to be a balance in your life, and you have to decide what that balance is. It's okay to be driven, and I am such a driven person. It's okay to be driven, but not to the point that you alienate those around you, and certainly not to the point that you hurt the ones that you love. And I did that for him. I set down my writing Saturday and Sunday. As hard of a pill that was for me to swallow, I did it, and I'm back at it today. So let's see where we go on today's writing journey. It is day 21 of NaNoWrimo, and guess what, guys? I didn't write yesterday, and I'm not even upset about it. It's gotten to the point where I know when I can write and when I can't, and when I'm burnt out, I don't even attempt it. So instead, I beta read for someone, and I read my own book, and I played games, and I relaxed on the couch, and I am really pumped and motivated to write today. I believe there's a live sprints going on in the Plotters community, so that's where I'm gonna go. Let's go. It's Saturday morning and it's rainy and I've been up for several hours. I made breakfast, did the dishes, made some coffee, but I wanted to get in some writing before this afternoon's festivities. I'm going out with a friend and so I'm excited to see how much I can get cranked out within the next hour. Let's go. So as you can see, I don't have any footage saying I won. I was just so grateful to be done that, I don't know, I didn't pick up the camera. I didn't write anything for a solid week. And this actually is the last video for my channel for 2018, and here's why. I feel that December, around this time of year, around the holidays, should be designated for your family. And as much as I love doing these videos and I love the writing community, picking up my camera and videoing and giving advice and talking about this and about that, I don't know, it just doesn't speak to me this year at least. I will resume again in January. I'm not sure of the exact date because I have family coming in from out of town, and spending quality time with them is more important to me at this time. I'm learning more and more what balance means to me, and balance means to me setting your priorities in order and not allowing one particular thing to take over everything else and to swallow it whole. And it's taken me a while to actually go through this process and learn it, because to be honest with you guys, I am not like some of these writers on AuthorTube, and nothing against them at all, but I don't get up in the morning and go and meditate and write in my journal and drink my coffee and think about how my day's gonna go. No, I live life at a fast pace, and sometimes I need to slow down. Sometimes I need to sit down and listen to the advice of others who say, who made these rules? Who say, live life to its fullness, and you're not so and so, you're Elizabeth. And I think that that is a lesson all of us writers and authors should take away from this, is that life is precious. And if we are constantly critiquing ourselves and becoming so wound up and anxious that we suck the fun right out of writing and creating and our art and what we love to do, then what is the purpose? What is the purpose of this YouTube channel? Let me tell you what it is. The purpose of this YouTube channel is to be real and raw and honest with you guys, and to tell you I work a full job. I'm a full-time wife and mother. I am a friend. I love the outdoors in the summertime. I love to write. I love to read. There's nothing more fun to me than to sit down and have a good conversation, whether it be about politics or religion or topics that people don't usually like to talk about. I love to do these types of things, and if I'm spending all my time wondering if the content on my channel is perfect, if I'm putting videos out each and every week, if my writing makes sense, if I'm even a writer, or if I'm even a creator or author, if I'm spending all my time worrying about that, what is the point? I believe the point of our life is to live it to its fullness. And we can't do that when we are driven by anxiety. And like I've said in earlier videos, I have suffered with anxiety and depression throughout my adolescent and adult life, and it comes in spurts. But I am going to be honest with you about it. I'm not going to hide. Some people say that it's very personal to them and they don't want to talk about it. That's fine. But if I can help just one person, that's all that matters to me, because I want you to feel like you're not alone. And I want you to take away from this, live life to its fullest. Love your friends and family. Take the holidays and spend it with them. Don't worry about goals and what you're gonna do in 2019. Sure, it's okay to sit and plan a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. But if it's making you sick to your stomach and your head is spinning and you're like, what am I doing? I don't know how I'm going to make it through 2019. And you're dreading that Happy New Year, yay, and the ball dropping. What are you doing? Live each and every moment. Don't spend it worrying about the future, because it's the here and now. I'm here to tell you it's the here and now. It's the people standing right in front of you. Don't allow a negativity into your life. If someone says to you, la la la, you can't do this, or you think you can do that, you writing that book? Are you serious? It takes 10 years to write a book. Okay, that's fine. But I'm loving what I'm doing. There is no timeline. I am not in a contract. I haven't signed one. So this time of year is super hard for me. Why? Because I'm sitting in the very office chair where my dad last sat. And I'm here to tell you, one day he was sitting here and we were talking like I'm talking to you right now. And the next day he was gone. So go into the new year with balance on your mind. Love those around you. Be good to those near and dear to your heart. And as always, keep on writing. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.